We're gonna be live. Here we are. All right, guys. Good Lord. All right, there we go. Let's get back over here. All right, guys, we're in here. We are live. Welcome to the show. All right, send the reaction, start sharing, start recording. We need to tell audio video settings, change recording on backgrounds and effects. All right, the camera is off. So what do we do? We're just gonna put a background up. How about that? Did it work? All right, we're using TalkShoe tonight, and I'm learning how to work this thing. This is pretty interesting, I have to tell you. You trying to connect to the virtual camera? Let me turn the virtual camera on and see if you'll connect. It wants to connect to the virtual camera, so we're gonna let it get into the virtual camera. How you guys doing? Everybody cool? Let me go ahead and pull this up on my other laptop. And we're gonna go ahead and hit the dots over here and go live on Kick. So we're gonna use that 18 and hit that Kick stream. Awesome. Love it. Hello, hello, y'all. Welcome in. Come on in. Look at me. I can't even spell. The spelling is okay. The spelling is good. It should spell. FR. So today's Finance Friday. We're going to be talking about a little budgeting and finance and stuff like that. We have the YouTube chat open, so if you guys want to come to YouTube, that's totally fine. I was supposed to find a plugin, you guys, for this was to find a plugin, because there are people that would like to join the OBS. And so a friend of mine from a different platform was like, yo, this would be pretty cool if you could add people, you know. And I was like, you can do that? And then they're like, yeah, you can add people to your OBS. I did not know that. So that's something that's like super interesting. I do have invitations, but you have to be in my contact list apparently in order to do that. So I'm gonna go over to my Discord and make sure that my Discord is open, so I can share some stuff. Got Carol in the chat. Grab that link. All right, I'll see if I can grab that link on my Miss Rising Star. Let's see. I need to go into my own Discord, go into the comments corner, and I'm live, you guys. Live. I love it. I love this. This is so cool. How are you guys doing? Everybody doing good? We're doing live streams, and I don't have my bot, set up properly. So the bot that I was using for my Discord, I guess it's not really, working too good. So I was like, whatever. Let's see. Is this going through? It looks like it's going through on my YouTube, but my studio is having like a fit or something over here. I'm not sure what's going on here. Camera and microphone allowed. Continue allowing. Yeah, it's fine. Alright, so that doesn't look like this. Sorry, guys. That's my mom. Yeah, I probably have seen that.
Oh, you did. Somebody tried to. She was coming out of Walmart. This woman tried to stand.
Really?
She cussed all the time. And the woman opened her purse and said, "See all this money out there?" She said, "I just found you. You want some of it?" She started cussing. She said, "If you don't get out of my face, I'll scream. And every police around here will get you and I'll show you right there." So Ricky got her some. It looked like something that you could spray on folks. And she got them. She said,
What, like mace?
Yeah. I got a small one.
All right, y'all heard that. Beware of these scammers. You do not want to get involved with that. I mean, it's that time of the year, right? You guys, it's that time of the year. So you got to be extremely careful when you're out shopping and, you know, all of that stuff. You got to be extremely careful because at the end of the day, you know, you never know who might be out there trying to scam you, trying to, you know, get at you or whatever. So let's see. Renee sent me a link, www.userinterviews.com. All right, let's see. So we're doing a little bit of tech. User interviews. We connect researchers and participants. Get fast access to qualified participants or earn money by participating in studies. Oh, okay. All right. We'll look at that later. We'll look at that later. Very interesting. Okay, so I want to show you guys something, and I'm not sure if I can, but I'm going to pull up something that I saved. I guess I could just do it this way. Now, I did have something about vertical users, and it was just an image, a new image, and I wanted to grab it from my computer just in case. Because the thing is, YouTube loves for you to go vertical, right? And I literally don't want any video capture. I don't feel like being on video today. It's not what I'm gonna do. Not looking at a baseball cap on and all that kind of stuff. And then on top of that, I'm gonna put that in my, let's see, share additional camera prevent above media. Yeah. So I want to show you guys this because we're going to talk about a little bit. Everybody wants to, you know, earn money from home and all that kind of stuff. And of course, I do YouTube. YouTube is, you know, my platform. It's what I do. You know, it's where I'm at most of the time. And so, with that being said, I was listening to VidIQ, right? And VidIQ has some really good stuff. VidIQ had some really good stuff. I'm trying to find some people that were talking to me via Instagram. I have stuff open everywhere, y'all. Anyway, I was watching VidIQ. Shout out to VidIQ for today's YouTube video. Really appreciate you guys. So what I did was I created a mind map of what they were talking about because this is amazing. This is crazy, right? It's content buckets, and with your content bucket, this may make it easier for people if you have a visual or if you have you know, like a different way, like you don't like lists, you know what I mean? If you don't like, you know, a whole lot of reading, this right here was amazing. And I know I'm one of those people who, you know, I'm a visual person, I'm a hands-on person, and I was like, I have to see if I can do this so I can understand. 2026 is coming up, and live streamers and people who create content online, it's really, it's not hard, but you have to know that there is a strategy and there is a way that people want to do this. So they made this thing called content bucket. Shout out, you guys! People are coming into YouTube. Glad to see you guys. The content buckets. You can put all of your content in this bucket, right? You've got updates, you've got tutorials, let's play, get ready with me, how to's, reviews, cooking, makeup, all that kind of stuff. Whatever your niche is, or if you have 2 or 3 niches, like you do hair, makeup, and fashion, cooking, like, spices, what pots to use, or if you just cook different things, like if you're a vegan or a pescatarian, or you do no carb cooking. All of this stuff could go into your content bucket, right? And you have to do this strategy in order for this to work so that you can get more subscribers and more viewers. And the thing with YouTube is that once you cross that threshold of 1,000 views, 1,000 subscribers, it's all about the money. You want to get the views, right? Because you want your YouTube check to be bigger. That's the whole kit and caboodle right there. So understand why using a bucket strategy can change your channel from struggling to thriving, right? So you've got browse over here. Browsers, is like a storytelling bucket. And I understand that concept. Why? Because people browse through and they're looking for something to watch, and they don't, I just want to see what's up. Your story time pops up. Or maybe they're looking for something to go to sleep for, they're looking for some ASMR, some different things like that. So what happens is, they're looking for story times, and that's suitable for browsing. People are not going to search it out if they want your particular story time. What they're going to do is wait for your notification. Maybe you do it 3 times a week, maybe you do it once a week, but they have your notifications on, so they're going to find you. So your new subscribers are going to come from those browsers. Now, if you want the search, right? This is people finding you because they're searching for something specific to solve a problem. Maybe they don't know how to sew in a weave, or maybe they don't know how to make chicken noodle soup, or maybe they want an easy way to create a skirt without a sewing machine. These are the things that they're going to look for. So that means that your specific videos have to be niche oriented down to a dime. But you still have to have the YouTube formula, and we'll talk about that in a minute. And then number 3, there are shorts, right? This is where you convert your landscape videos into vertical videos, right? And so what I used to do was I used to make a whole nother short. Because I was like, I don't want to do that. I want to learn how to do that. And so or just make shorts. Like, there are some YouTube channels that are nothing but shorts. And that's perfect. That's fine. That's great. If you can tell a whole story within 3 minutes, that short form content that people, gravitate to when they're just skimming through TikTok or skimming through, live media, or, whatever it is. This is perfect. And then you can share that information, or what is called cross promo, right? And once you do that, it's up from there. I used to be good at shorts, but I gotta be honest with you, I don't really think that my quality, the video quality, isn't there when I go from landscape to vertical, and it cuts the sides off, or it just looks a whole mess, right? So I'm not really, good at it. I'll just make a whole nother short, which means that my shorts are probably a completely different topic from, the main podcast, the main show, or whatever, which is totally fine, right? You've got your how to, which goes in the bucket. It's designed for search. You've got your story time, designed for browsing, your shorts, brand building. You know what I'm saying? So if you're building a brand or you want to cross promo your content, that's for you. What's the YouTube formula? Well, if you want to make money on YouTube, your videos and your channel has to contain entertainment, motivation, education, and inspiration. The video has to entertain, motivate, educate, and inspire. Is that understandable? Y'all got that? It's really easy to understand, not so easy to do. You have to remember that. Why is that? Because this is what YouTube considers to be value. Okay? If YouTube doesn't find these four structures in your video or your channel overall, they probably won't push you. And then this is why people get upset. They get really mad because they say, "Oh, YouTube isn't pushing my my videos or whatever. YouTube doesn't care about me, blah blah blah." That's not the case. You have to make sure that your video is doing one or all of these, and a lot of time, most videos are going to entertain and they're going to inspire. They're going to make you laugh, or something. The challenges, the jokes. You've got the videos that the husband and wife, pranks and all that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, the entertainment, the inspiration, to make you feel better, motivation. Most motivational videos are really hot right now. A lot of people on other apps will take a motivational video from YouTube and play it on their live stream because it motivates not just them, but their entire audience. So I find that to be really interesting. Educational videos, you can throw a bit of education into just about any video, but if you're teaching constantly on your channel, and like I said, you could be teaching anything. You could be teaching about hair, makeup, fashion, cooking. You could be teaching, math, English. You could be teaching anything. And YouTube is going to gravitate to that, and they're going to say, "Yo, we need to pay attention to these videos. We need to pay attention to this channel." And once your videos start getting pushed out, and it's like one of my friends, I told her, I said, "Hey, listen, the thing is, we love to see pictures of your wonderful food that makes a great short, but we need a tutorial. I want to know how you're making this food. I need a wide shot of that stove while you're cooking, and I need you to tell me what you're doing so I can follow along. And I need that replay, so I need you to do it on YouTube because I have yet to find another platform that gives us a replay. Now, Rumble does, but you will not find a lot of cooking and things of that nature over there. Whereas on YouTube, you'll find so many different things, and so this is what makes that super valuable. Okay, so you've got to put the value into your content. Otherwise, it's not going to work. It's not working out. All right, let's check and see who we got over on Kick. What's up, y'all? How you doing? Someone just posted your stream in here. All right, thanks. Oh, okay. So somebody decided to say something rude in my live stream. Don't really care. Don't really care. Stay out of my Kick. As a matter of fact, I think you're gonna get you're banned. How about that? I don't know who you are. I don't know where you came from, but banning is indeed a thing over here. So yeah, just know that if you say something crazy, you can and will get banned. All right? Just an FYI. So over on Bigo, there has been the Content House. So we're going to talk about the Content House because that has been super fun. So the Content House over on Bigo, and let me see if I can find this on Instagram. Because there's been some things, y'all don't even know. Here we go. This is Mr. Finesse. And he is a part of the Content House. Let me move this over here. And so they've been going at it. It's been going down. They have been doing some shenanigans. That's my daughter. Happy birthday. Oh, yeah. It is the first day of our church. It's her birthday. I saved some stuff. And y'all know I do not know how to work my I don't know how to work the thing. Is this where I keep my saved stuff? It is. Alright, so the Content House is right now, as it stands. And I did see someone new on the Content House, but I wasn't 100% sure who it was, right? So we have got the Bigo Content House, and on here we've got Karma, which I don't know. Never seen her. I don't know her content or anything like that. But I did follow everybody in the Content House. And then we have Shannon Myra. She's funny. She's a breath of fresh air. I totally like this girl. I hope she stays in the Content House. She's a hoot. Now, one thing I want to say about Shannon is that today, Aaliyah the doll, right? She did not like what your girl Shannon had to say. And I thought that was super funny. It was hilarious to me because she was just telling the truth. If you're going to come in the Content House and make everybody uncomfortable and pitch a whole fit, is it good TV? Yes. But is it fun for everybody? No. So I completely understand where she's coming from. And I know she feels a little bit left out because she looks a little bit left out because she's not a loud, crazy person or whatever. Shannon is pretty quiet. She's pretty reserved. She does like to have fun. But not the fussing and the threats and, like Super, he was spitting on, Aaliyah today. He said he spit at her, but spit doesn't have eyeballs, right? So, yeah. Spit doesn't have eyeballs, so you can't really, determine where that's going to go, all right? So there's that. You've got Curvy Candy. She's Mother, MUVA Candy, over on Bigo. Now, she's really pretty. She's trans, right? Really pretty girl. And she makes a lot of sense. She's very level-headed. She's like, what this is a contest, right? We're supposed to be going for the $5,000, which is the grand prize. The grand prize is $5,000. And so, what you want to do is get the $5,000. That's what you want to do. You want to get $5,000. You want to go for it and, have a good time in the process, not make anybody else feel uncomfortable or any of the things, but just, know that, this is a contest for everybody. This is not just, for one person. So, Shannon was an addition. Curvy Candy was an addition, right? Karma was an addition. The original people on the cast included 21, her boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, Drosky, and No Cap. They got into a fight and they were arrested. And of course, Drosky and 21 were not allowed back to the Content House. And some type of way, No Cap ended up being eliminated, right? So I'm not sure why, because he wasn't last on the list for any of the challenges, but he did miss some of the challenges. Now, he was the first one to make bail and or was released. But here's my thing. I feel like 21 should not have been arrested, and also she should have been let back into the house. And the reason I say that is because she was trying to break up the fight. Okay, so she was released. She went live today. She looks well. I don't know, anything about long stays in jail or whatever, but this was just a thing. No Cap got out first, then Drosky got out, and then today, 21. But I just feel like she got the raw, end of the stick because, like I said, she was just trying to break up the fight. Okay, I mean that's it. That's all. And she ended up, going to jail for getting in the middle and trying to break up Drosky and No Cap. So I felt like that was unfair. Okay, let's talk about White Boy Maj. White Boy Maj is super fun. He is the youngest cast member, right? And he's a pretty good character. You might know him from YouTube. You might know him from Kick. He's everywhere. You might know him from TikTok. He's literally everywhere. And he has got a great presence for the younger crowd. So if you are, 18, 20s, early 30s, White Boy Maj might be for you. He's into the shenanigans, and so really fun to watch. But if you are for the older crowd, you might be into Trina B. You might be into Super. They're probably the oldest. I think Super is 39, and Trina B might be in his late 40s, early 50s. You have Dre Baby, who definitely is in his 30s, and he's been on Bigo for some years. He is said to be #1 in the United States of America on the app, right? So, he's got a lot of followers over there as followers. Really, it says fans, but they don't like to say fans. They like to say followers. So you've got that. Then Finesse, Mr. Finesse was added on the first day. He was not a part of the original cast. And the flyer that you're seeing right here has been redone. Because Karma wasn't on here, Shannon wasn't on here, Finesse wasn't on here. So they had to take out the people who were eliminated. And then add the new people. So Finesse, he's with the shenanigans. They are having a very hard time making alliances. I think a lot of people have animosity towards Maj because he is so famous. He is popular. I mean, he's internet famous. Let's just be honest. And I don't want to compare him to like Shamar, but I'm just saying Shamar, hit the scenes. He was being made fun of because of his scoliosis and his speech impediment. And now he's on stage rocking out with literal celebrities. So, shout out, and Shamar is on Bigo. He would have been perfect to be in the Bigo content house. But he may be on tour, he may be busy. I've been seeing him on stage with a lot of people, so he may not even be in town. Don't know if Bigo reached out to him or not, but they really dropped the ball on that one. A lot of other people that were around Trina B's age, they dropped the ball on that, which was crazy. I was like, why wouldn't you, invite Empress, which Empress said she was invited. She has 2 daughters that could have been invited, probably were invited. A lot of people that probably were invited declined. And then there was a rumor that Trey Baby requested certain people. And that's where Super comes in and Aaliyah the Doll. They have a show, these 3, that's called The Gossip Girls. And The Gossip Girls used to come on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So we're not sure if they're going to come back or not. Maybe they'll have an impromptu show or something in the future. But Super did say that they were going to take a break. So, there's that. Shannon, she's new on the scene. I checked her channel out last night. She really wasn't getting a lot of views, but she might be new on the app. Me, I'm like the absolute worst because I could be live on the app right now. Just forget because I can't connect it to my OBS. The only way I can do that is if I have an agent, and I'm not interested in having an agency, not right now, because I have all kinds of stuff going on with my health, and I did promise my vlogging channel that I was going to do something for them in the way of a health update before the 19th, which is I call it my surgery date. They're doing an epidural procedure. That's what I mean to say. So they're doing an epidural to see if they can calm the sciatic nerve being poked and prodded by the bulging disc. There's a disc that has slipped out of place in my spine. And I did ask them, I was like, if leave it, will it get worse? Will it keep slipping out? And they're like, it could. There's a 50-50 chance. But if this epidural doesn't work, it doesn't make things better, then they will consider surgery, but they just don't want to because of my age. They're saying I'm too young. So there's that. Anyway, the person we haven't talked about up here is listen, Crazy T calls this boy Light Bright. His name on the app is Late Night. Okay, it's not Light Bright. But shout out to Crazy T. Listen, she really entertains me in the middle of the night when I'm tossing and turning and I can't sleep and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. But Late Night, I actually on the app. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. Let's talk about who I like and who I don't like on the app, not about the content house. Because in the content house, I'm seeing a completely different side of people, and it's making me gravitate towards people that I didn't know before. I can't say I didn't like them, but it's making me gravitate towards people that I didn't know before, with the exception of Trina B. I'm really liking Trina B more because he is very reserved. He knows how to be professional. He knows how to, just to have that game face. You know what I'm saying? This is not just a regular live stream. This is a show. And so he's really conducted himself in a different light. So I like that about Trinity. Shannon, I'm probably going to tune into her live streams and see what she's about. But in the content house, she's bomb. She's not with the shenanigans, even though her name on Bigo is Shenanigans. In the content house, she's not with all the fussing and stuff. So, no. Maj, I don't know if I'm going to tune in to his YouTube channel or anything like that. I probably will check it out because I want to see what made him so famous. How did he get internet famous? So I definitely want to, check him out online. But I do like him. I like that he's competitive, but he's not like Dre. Like Dre Baby is competitive, but his nerves overtake him to the point where he gets mad. He can't talk. It's like he just. Maj is a little different. He says what he has to say in a calm little voice, and then he goes on about his business. I think he works better alone, but if he has to work with another person or work with a team, he's cool with that. So I like Maj. Late Night, again, I kind of like him on the app, especially when he's dancing with 21 and just clowning around. But here in the Big L house, the content house, not so much. Aaliyah has been on 100 in the content house, and today she took it to 1,000. When her and Super got into it, it was off the chain to the point where she called the police on Super. So you gotta tune in tonight and check that out. And it's 5:56 p.m. Central Standard Time here in the great state of Alabama, and I've got like 4 minutes before the content house comes on. So we're about to get out of here really soon, right? But I did want to come on. I was like, what am I going to talk about? The first episode, and I just wanted to try everything out. See if you guys would be able to see my Instagram, all that kind of stuff. Because y'all know I love doing Christmas and doing acting silly. This is just a lighthearted show. Sometimes we'll get into the serious side of things, depending on that we need to talk about on the internet. We'll definitely do that, but making people laugh and motivation and entertainment and inspiration with a little bit of education. Nothing's wrong with that. And we did do some finance for Finance Friday. We talked about social media, especially YouTube, and what that entails. And I hope you guys use that information. I really hope you do. Who did I not cover? Finesse is good TV. He could be on a reality TV show. He could be on like Big Brother or something like that. I could see him doing that. I could see Maj doing that as well. Candy, Kirby Candy, I like her. She's cool. I've seen her live streams before where she's doing her makeup, doing her hair, and she just she has the gift of gab. She likes to talk to the audience. So it's not so much, that she can sing or dance or, any of that, but she keeps real good company. People like to talk to her. And she'll sit and she'll tell you what she's been doing. Maybe she'll take you to lunch or dinner, with her, when she goes out to eat or something like that. And a lot of broadcasters, that's what they're good at. They can keep you, good company when they go live. You may want to talk about what they did on Instagram or TikTok or something like that, and give you a little, behind the scene story times or something like that. Aaliyah the doll, she's great at story times. Love to hear her stories. She's super funny. She talks. She has the gift of gab, but she's very animated. So if you want to check her out, you definitely can. Super is always on 100. He's always animated. He's always like he loves to fuss about people with people. And then you have Dre Baby, who has deemed himself the quote unquote queen of late night. That's what he says. So I don't question that. No judgment. This is a no judgment zone still. The name may have changed, but this is still the no judgment zone. And Dre Baby says that he's the queen of late night over on Bigo. So he does that. However, after this content house, I think he's gonna leave and just go strictly TikTok. I am not sure how true that is because Dre Baby has said that before. Okay, so we don't know if he's gonna strictly be TikTok or not. We don't know. All right. So that's the cast. That is your Bigo content house. That is what happened. That's what we've got. I'm not sure. Do they have a picture of the first cast? Let me see. I want to see if they have a picture of the first cast so you guys can check. They may have taken it down. I think they took it down. I'm not sure. I do. I think they took it down. So here you have Hulu Land. Okay, here we go. So they just added a picture. So this was the original cast, and as you can see, Finesse standing at the very top with the red jacket on. He was the first night edition. We didn't know that Finesse was gonna, be coming to the house, but they had a surprise for everybody, and Finesse was the surprise with the cap and the sleeveless shirt that is no cap. Right behind no cap with the blue on is Drosky, and over on the other side, in between White Boy Maj and Super, would be 21, and those are the original cast members that were let go. Okay, so there you go. All right, guys. This has been super fun. We are going to talk about the content house tomorrow. We're going to talk about some other things. Usually, I don't come live on Saturday. I don't think I have any appointments. I don't have anything to do. So I think let's have a little bit of fun and have an impromptu show for tomorrow. So that'll be super fun. All right, let's go back over here to TalkShoe. So if you have not tried TalkShoe, it is so much fun. You can have your call-in people if they want to call in and be a part of the show. They got the click your raise your hand at the bottom and all this kind of stuff. I think it's pretty cute. I actually, you can record the show if you want to as well. So if you want to upload it as a podcast, you can. Today, I just did it as a live show. I didn't hit I didn't hit record or anything because I just wanted to try it out and see how it was going to go. I'm using it with my OBS, so you guys are able to see what's happening on the screen. You can hear what's going on in TalkShoe and everything. So I'm really learning OBS. Love the fact that I was able to edit my microphone. The headphones are working perfectly. So if you want to know how I did this, later on, I'm going to put some of the stuff that I use in the description box so you can see what I use for today's production. But this is pretty fun. It's been pretty good. I appreciate all of you for tuning in. Thank you so much. Shout out to everybody on Kick. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. And especially shout out to you guys who tuned in to the brand new TalkShoe.com. All right, you guys, be good, be safe, make good choices, and I will talk to you in the next one. Peace.